Have you ever heard of cases where one animal decides to adopt another, even if it's a completely different species? It sounds like something out of a Disney movie, but in real life it happens more often than we imagine. And every time a story like this comes to light, the whole world is surprised, touched, and even puzzled. After all, what makes an animal care for another that isn't its own species? Instinct? Compassion? Or something we still can't fully explain? Today you're going to hear 20 incredible cases of animals adopting completely different species. Some of them will warm your heart, and others will leave you speechless. One of the best-known examples comes from dogs. Throughout history, there have been countless cases of female dogs adopting kittens. And it's not just about letting them stay close. It's about nursing them, protecting them, and even teaching them as if they were her own pups. It's funny because, in popular imagination, cats and dogs have always been rivals. But in these moments, nature shows us there's room for care, even when logic says otherwise. Another emotional case is that of a lioness seen protecting a baby antelope on the African savanna. Instead of attacking it, as everyone would expect, she spent days shielding the little animal and keeping predators away. Researchers were stunned because it went against the natural order of the food chain. For many, it was a rare moment where the hunting instinct gave way to maternal instinct. There are also stories of monkeys adopting kittens in Indian villages. The monkeys carried the kittens in their arms, shared food with them, and even defended them from dogs. The images quickly went viral, showing that even primates, often territorial, are capable of forming bonds with other species. We can forget the famous case of a dog that adopted a tiger cub in a zoo. The little tiger had been rejected by its mother, and the dog was introduced as a foster parent. The result was surprising. She treated the cub with so much care that it grew strong and healthy. This type of cross-species fostering is more common in zoos than you might think, since many wild mothers sometimes reject their babies, and dogs step in as substitute mothers. And it's not just dogs and monkeys. Dolphins, for example, have been observed adopting orphan calves from other dolphin species and even small whales. Their intelligence and strong social bonds make them capable of forming attachments, even with outsiders. For scientists, this is a powerful example of empathy in the animal world. Another incredible story involves a cat that adopted baby squirrels. A family had rescued the squirrels, and the cat, who already had kittens, simply accepted them into her litter. The sight of kittens and squirrels nursing together left everyone amazed, and soon the story was all over the news. There are even cases of bears adopting cubs of other species. In one rare example, a bear was seen protecting a wolf pup. Despite the fact that bears and wolves often compete for territory and food, the bear acted like a guardian. Biologists watching the scene were astonished, since this kind of adoption between large predators is almost unheard of. And even birds have their surprises. Hens have been recorded sitting on duck eggs and raising the ducklings as their own chicks. The funniest part is when the ducklings grow up and naturally head for water. But they still keep close ties with the hen that raised them. Another heartwarming story is that of a dog adopting a fawn. It happened on a farm in the United States when the baby deer was left orphaned. The dog immediately began to care for it, licking, protecting, and even guiding it through the fields. The deer grew healthy, and even as an adult, it would return regularly to visit its adoptive mother. In marine environments, there are also incredible cases. Seals have been seen protecting lost penguin chicks, keeping them safe from predators until they could rejoin their colonies. In another unusual story, a mare adopted a zebra foal in a wildlife sanctuary. The foal had lost its mother, but the horse took it in as her own. Over time, the zebra grew strong, but never lost its deep bond with the adoptive mare. There are also dogs that adopted baby opossums. Even though many people see opossums as unwanted animals, these dogs didn't care. They carried the babies on their backs, just like real opossum mothers do. One remarkable case was seen in a zoo, where a chimpanzee cared for tiger cubs that had been rejected. What amazed people most was watching the chimp feed them with a bottle, like a human caretaker. The images spread worldwide as proof of cross-species affection. And then there are the strangest stories, like cats that adopted ducklings. On one farm, a cat was seen cuddling and protecting baby ducks as if they were her kittens. The contrast of a natural predator raising its prey left everyone astonished. Among rodents, there are cases too. Hamsters and guinea pigs have been recorded caring for orphaned baby rabbits in shelters. They shared warmth and even protected them while they grew. We also can leave out the story of a dog that adopted a panda cub in a zoo. The cub had lost its mother and wouldn't have survived without immediate care. The dog stepped in, nursing and protecting the little panda. And thanks to that, the baby grew healthy. Another incredible case happened in rural Africa, where goats were seen nursing orphaned antelope calves. Locals were stunned by the sight, and it once again showed how maternal instinct can cross species boundaries. And finally, there's the rare case of an elephant that adopted an orphaned buffalo calf. The two became inseparable, walking side by side and protecting one another. Conservationists who witnessed it called it one of the most extraordinary examples of interspecies adoption ever recorded. These 20 stories prove that the animal world is full of surprises that challenge science and logic. When we see a predator protecting its prey, or completely different animals living like mother and child, we're forced to rethink our ideas about instinct and behavior. Maybe these animals act only from biology, or maybe there's something deeper, a form of empathy that transcends species. What's clear is that these stories inspire us because they reflect something we all understand: the power of care, affection, and protection, even without blood ties. It's as if nature reminds us that the instinct to nurture can be stronger than any barrier. And now I want to hear from you. Which of these stories did you find most incredible? The lioness protecting an antelope, the dog nursing tiger cubs, or the elephant caring for a buffalo calf? Leave your thoughts in the comments, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. Because the animal kingdom still has many amazing stories to tell, and here you'll always discover the most fascinating ones.